I mean, we made a big trade to get him because of who he is and the nature of his football style of play, aggressiveness, toughness, and his mentality is really unique.
What's your role going to be? Have you talked to Pete about your role? You going to go back to the strong safety, fly around hitting? You know, I've been hearing a couple whispers about you kind of going outside linebacker. You know, you can cover. Yeah. We all know you can tackle. What's kind of going to be your role in this defense?
Man, honestly, man, I guess you can just call me the Joker, man. Jack of all trades.
There you go.
You know what I mean? I don't like to label myself as just one position, man. I can do it all. You know, whether, you know, that's playing linebacker, whether that's playing safety. You know, in my eyes, I believe I can do it all. So, you know, just say I'm the Jack of all trades.
I think I was actually a freshman, and we played Hebron in high school in the playoffs in the first round, and he was on Hebron in Texas, and I got to see him. Like, I didn't play a snap. Obviously, I'm sitting on the sideline, and my brother was a starter on that team at Colleyville, and, you know, we got after Hebron's ass. You know, we beat Jamal's team. But I'm not gonna lie, like Jamal, I told this in the team meeting yesterday, like Jamal is one of the coldest players I've ever seen in person. Like, up to that point, I've never seen somebody like that on a football field. And first thing in the morning yesterday, and we got to chop it up, and, you know, we know a lot of people mutually. So yeah, it was like we've known each other from a distance, but it was, you know, it felt like I've known him for years. You know, finally getting to like meet in person and chop it up. Oh, high school? Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. That was like the first thing I told him. I'm like, yeah, I remember. I told him, like, I hyped him up a little bit. I was like, bro, you're insane. You're playing running back. You're playing linebacker. I was like, yeah, we whooped y'all's ass. So, yeah, so shout out to my brother and them. They definitely got after him.
At this point, he's more of a box safety, you know, only. I would say if you want to use him in the best way, kind of almost as a lighter linebacker who can also blitz off the edge. And, you know, Jeremy Chin can do a lot of that stuff. And so that's what makes me think this is more of sort of like a third safety sort of signing. A guy that, you know, as Chin moves around, whether he's coming down the nickel back or if he is lined up in the box or he's lined up deep, kind of have Adams who can fill in there when he's not in those different spots. You know, if he is able to, you know, perform throughout training camp and make the team ultimately. But at first it kind of surprised me, but I think the more I thought about it, it kind of makes more sense.
Yeah, obviously it's different for me, you know, just being in the linebacker room. Obviously they speak a different language than what we speak in the back end. But, you know, me just taking it on and learning everything, learning from the guys each and every day. You know, you have guys like Devin White. You know, you have Pratt. You have E-Rob. You have Jalen Smith. So you have so many guys in there that have put the time in, have you know, battle scars, should you say. And I'm just kind of learning from them and, you know, just going out there just to be a football player.